Makes sense, where we talk personal finance, investing, and chart analysis. Today we are looking at ticker symbol ORCL. This is Oracle, one of the greatest of the great stocks. It's been around for a while. It's been doing pretty well this year. It's up 16% year to date. We are going to look at the bigger picture and see what do we got going on, because it looks like I have charted this one before and it is still hanging on pretty near all-time highs, within $10 as of this recording. They do report later today. It looks like my my wonderful drawing of a bear or a bull flag. We have our flagpole and then the flag. It looks like it came to fruition. Here was our apex. Again, this is where support and resistance converge right here. Again, a very volatile move. It went from 110 to 133. Stunning. So, what was that? I don't know what this is. That's interesting. Um, Looking at resistance, probably, yeah, we could go up there. I'd say 127 if the stock does well. Again, we're entering another area of an apex right here where we could see a volatile move up or down. And yep, you can see that oblong shape. So again, this probably won't happen until June, July. Unless there's an amazing move and this happens to just a rocket ship. I think 127 is our first target. And then obviously the all-time high, which is going to be 130. Whoops. We're going to go ahead and remove that. I didn't mean to do that. It's going to be the all-time high, which was, this candle was 132.77. Right there. So 127.88 and then 132. That's our mental blocks for potential to the upside. To the downside, if they have bad earnings, I think 117 followed by 109 if earnings are bad. So those are my targets to the upside and downside. Looking at technical indicators here, RSI is at 61, meaning the bulls have this one to the upside. The stock did continue its nice move up, and you can see this black line is still hovering above this red line. It's close. I mean, if the earnings are not good, or guidance, revenues, EPS, what have you, this could be an easy slip fall down. And again, we'd be looking at 117 and then 109. The money flow, I mean, it's high. If we're looking, it's right here. Historically, it's high. We'll look and see what institutions and hedge funds are doing, by the way. Relative momentum indicator, obviously, it's still hot. This is a reflection of the MACD, which is right here. Still doing very well. So, I mean, what I get out of this, I think the bulls are in control. But if there's something that investors don't like on the earnings release, I think this thing could easily go down to 110, 117, 110. All right. And then looking over here, sales, looks like it's kind of plateaued, and then it really nicely started to take off again, up and to the right, and then shares outstanding down and to the right. Just natural and organic accumulation of shares. Always love to see that. EPS is kind of flat. It's been flat for about 4 years. Don't know what else to say about that. Looking at their price earnings, are a little bit expensive. Gross margins 65%. That's amazing. They are profitable. Quick ratios under 1. So if they had to close their doors tomorrow, they would not be able to pay off any or pay off all of their debts, liabilities, notes, what have you. So that's interesting. Wow, look at this debt. That's incredible. All right. We're going to run my calculation. Everything seems to be in billions. Market cap, income, sales, shares float. So I'm going to run everything shorthand. And this is going to give us our projected potential stock price. So we have 337 billion 820 million plus 10 billion 0.64 million and adding 52 billion 51 million. Pretty fantastic. They do offer a nice dividend. All right. And we're going to go to quarterly. All right. They have a record 13.2 billion in cash plus 13 billion 280 million. Now the debt. Where's that debt? Where's that debt? Did I look at the wrong? I looked at the wrong thing. We're going to minus 13.28. That is revenue, not cash. So now we're looking at the balance sheet where they do have cash of 9.9 billion, which is not a record. So I apologize for that. So we're going to add 9 billion point 904 million. Total debt 82 billion. Wow. So minus 82 billion 470 million. All right, so we've got that. Now let's just take a peek. Total assets 137 billion. Total liabilities 130 billion. They've got a 800, no, they've got a 7 billion 808 million dollar buffer there. I mean, that's gigantic. Typically, you like to see assets dwarf liabilities, maybe 1.5, 2 times. Here, this one's actually pretty marginally close. They had more liabilities than assets back in the first quarter of 2023. That is scary. Same for 2022. I mean, looks like they really turned the ship around. I have it backwards. Nope. Yeah. They had 131 billion in assets, 133 billion liabilities. Crazy. 132 billion in liabilities, 128 million in assets, 135 billion in liabilities, 130 billion in assets. So they've kind of flipped the script here. They're back towards having a nice buffer. I hope they continue to widen that gap. Looks like they took out considerable debt. Well, I mean, they've had a lot of debt, but they've paid off about $8 billion worth of debt since May of last year. It'll be interesting to see what they report after the close today. A lot of selling, but it's not really red flag type selling. You can see Michael Boskin sold 45, got 45 options. George sold 20, got 20. George sold 25, got 25. Safra sold a 10, got a 10. You kind of see the picture here. No red flags there, but I love to see CEOs buying, you know. So we're now going to take this and divide it by 1 billion 600 million. So this is a stock price of $205. The current stock is 122. Analysts have an average of 140, 150. So my stock projection is higher. So what I intend to see there, and let me just, before I talk ORCL, just so this can load. Based off of that information there, my stock price projection is about 70% upside. Given that, I do anticipate hedge funds and institutions to have more than 43%. Finviz does show older data. This website we're going to look at does show data up to the day. It does reflect filings, SEC filings as they occur. Usually there is a period where they are not captured, and that's, I think, a rule by the SEC. But 43% is old data. If my stock price projection is true, I think the ownership is now going to be in this 56 to 60%. All right, remember 43. I say 56 to 60. 48, not that much. That's like a 5% increase. Not a lot of appetite here. Vanguard added about 10 million shares. Lawrence Ellison sold 5 million shares. Interesting. And then if we go down here, we obviously see a lot of funds, institutions creating new positions, reducing positions, selling out of their positions when it's red. So kind of a mixed signal. Me personally, I do have exposure to this in the S&P 500. In terms of purchasing this stock singly as an individual stock, I'm going to wait. I would wait until after July. I am interested to see how this earnings plays out. It got rejected 4 times at the 127 line. That alone kind of gives me the feeling there might be some more rejection. If not, what have you. I think personally for myself only, I would want to buy when the stock comes back to this level of support. Eventually. This goes back. How far back does this go? Yeah, it only goes back as far as 2020, which isn't too far. So I do expect it to come and test this line again eventually. But I can't promise when that's going to be. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I could see we have our left shoulder here. Our head forms like this, and then we have our right shoulder just busting through the seams. Just insane monster move, but we need to have this. If that is true, this needs to complete. And I could see it possibly. The stock comes down on earnings because it was not great and continues to trade within this. And then we have an apex here around 2025, 2026. And then we start building out that right shoulder. Possibly, I'm just speculating. So, again, no real rush to get in this one, in my opinion. It does have, my production was very nice, but it got rejected 4 times at 127. I'm not really seeing a major volume breakout or accumulation over the last 2 years at least the last 2 years. So I can wait on this one. If you're in this one, good luck. They do offer a dividend, so I could see this being a part of a lot of people's value portfolios, long-term portfolios. If you've seen some things and been around for a while, you may have this one individually in your accounts, your portfolios. So anyway, that's my thesis. I'm sticking to it. We're going to wait on Oracle. Not a bad company at all. They're up 16% year to date. If you're in this one, good luck. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.